All right, so second voiceover of the week. This is a little microcycle of my training here. Just 3 training days: squat day, deadlift day, bench day. Starting off with a squat. This is supposed to be a heavy pause squat workout, but my legs were feeling, really shitty. That's 500 legit pause. I was gonna do it for 2, maybe even more weight, but decided against it. What I did was I dropped down to 405 and I did these deep breathing pause squats. So essentially what I do, just like a normal squat, pause at the bottom, then I exhale all the air out of my lungs, and I take 5 deep breaths into my stomach, and then come back up. I'll brace on the last one and come up. 5 singles. After last week being a really big, productive week for the squat, my legs have just felt really, really shitty. The tendons in my knees hurt, which is nothing new. Front squats were bothering them. My IT band hasn't felt too good. That's been a new kind of thing for me, squatting, and really pushing my squat. That's been something that's bugged me lately. Basically, just all around feeling stiff and really, really shitty. So this is something that kind of putting my legs in that really stretched out squat position where I'm really driving the knee over the toe. Has just really felt rehabilitative for my legs. I felt I didn't feel wrecked after this session. It didn't feel like a heavy squat session at all. But what I did feel was that my legs felt a lot better. So I'll take that. Next was my deadlift session. That'll come after this set here. Trying to rebuild my deadlift. It's obviously not been up since I dropped it pretty much entirely to focus solely on squat. So I was just trying to get, I'm tweaking my form. I'll talk about that in the car talk, but it's just a 2x2 with 535. Nothing great. Did a mixed grip. This is my weaker mixed grip. I'm a little bit weaker with my right hand supine. So this set was a lot harder than the next one. But I'm trying to actually bring my hips down a bit and spread my legs a bit more to kind of adjust for my leverages. I probably could have done this for like 3 or 4 reps, but I was just trying to work on form. It was the second deadlift workout of the week, so I was cool keeping it light. Then we got bench day today. Bench, like I said before, it's best thing for me right now. It's really been going well. This is a 325 Larson press for 2 rep max. Really happy with that. Then I did some pause Larson press, 305. I got it for 3. Definitely a grind, but doesn't matter. I mean, literally my first time ever doing a pause Larson press. I really do think that a 350 Larson press is possible next week, either on Tuesday or Friday. I don't know which day I'll go for it, but really, really want to hit that. I would, that's a big goal of mine right now. And then I dropped it back down to 280, and then I just did 3 sets of 4, paused, close grip. Nothing too crazy. But I think it's important to, still work bench with my feet on the ground. I don't want to lose the ability to keep a good arch and use my leg drive. As much as I feel that Larson press has been very much beneficial for my bench, still got to practice. I guess practice how you play. And I think that, close grip's a great tool to get some more volume in on. It beats me up less, and it's always good to work the triceps a bit more. The increased range of motion makes the wide grip feel like a joke. So all in all, definitely really, really happy with this bench session. Really happy with bench in general, which I have not been happy with my bench in well over like a year and a half by now. So finally making some progress, definitely making a push toward 4 plates by the end of the year here, probably even sooner than that. All right, time for car talk number 2 this week. See him sticking to the program. Like I said, Tuesdays and Fridays, my days off, that's when I will put out everything. So far, we are 2 for 2 on post promises kept. So you're just gonna see from the training footage a kind of like a microcycle out of my week. So last time I uploaded, my last day was bench, and then so I restart and I went squat, deadlift, bench, and that's kind of what I do. I just repeat that twice. So we go squat, deadlift, bench, and then on Saturdays, which is kind of like the in-between day, that's tomorrow, I'll overhead press. I won't go too crazy with it. It's a very non-taxing lift if you don't really do a whole lot of volume, which I don't necessarily believe that you need for overhead press. I certainly don't. It's on the back burner for me. I care more about the 3 true power lifts at the moment, and I'm pushing bench, so I'm not pushing OHP so much. So it'll be kind of an easy session. Work up to a top set of probably 2 or 3. 1 if I'm really feeling insanely strong. And then I'll just kind of back it off. It'll be kind of like a pyramid of sorts, and I'll do, work up to a top set of 2, and then I'll do 4 or 5, and then I'll do 6 to 8, something like that. We'll see tomorrow. Depends how I'm feeling, depends how the session's going, numbers I hit, how hard they are, but that'll pretty much be the whole session. It's kind of like a general reset day. So anyway, what you'll see is my squat day, which after last week, of course, it was going to be a deload in squats. I had been maintaining a streak of squatting daily for a long time, and I hit a lot of really, really good PRs last week. I did, I don't even know if I posted all of them. Obviously, I did the 545 for 2, 520 for 3, I think it was, and then I also did 510 for 4. Some front squatting in there. A session where I front squatted twice. So, I can't remember all the numbers I hit, but last week was just a crazy week for squatting, so there was no way that I was going to live up to that this week. It was going to be a off week. So I think last time when I posted, it was a double at 500, completely raw, no belt, no sleeves. What I did last time was I was going to work up to something pause, and I was going to do some back off volume, but my legs have just been feeling like shit from last week. Everything is beat to hell. The tendons in my knees, the IT band is something that's bugged me. So squatting was not feeling good. I worked up to 500 pause with a belt. It was a good legit pause. I was going to attempt another rep. I was I don't think I'm getting another rep. And then I dropped down to 405, and I did what's kind of called a breathing pause squat. So you squat down, exhale all the air out of your lungs, and then you take kind of some, is it zoomed in or out? Oh shit. Then you take some like deep breaths into your lungs. I did 5. So exhale, 5 breaths, and then squat up. Or 5 deep breaths. On the 5th one, you rebrace, squat up. I did that with 405, no other equipment, for like 5 singles. I wouldn't really recommend doing that for like reps. It sounds that sounds like torturous. Maybe like 2 reps. But even 3, like that's pretty crazy. Like the amount of time you're going to be spending in that bottom position, exhaling. It's really, really good for, keeping a brace, learning to do that, keeping the core sturdy. Or is sturdy the word? Sturdy, I guess, would be the word. Rigid. Keeping your torso rigid is what I was going for. And for me, what I kind of wanted to do is I knew that would be a good kind of position to put my knees and legs into and use it as like a mobility deload drill. One where I kind of get it from is back in like 2021. I was a pretty big fan of the knees over toes guy when he came around. I mean, I don't know. I think I have like a pretty mixed bag of people that follow this page. So some of you will definitely know who that is because you've been lifting for a long time. You've been in the sphere for a long time. And you were paying attention when he came out. Others of you that have started lifting more recently, you might not even know who that is because he's kind of like fallen out of relevance. But now it's like the big thing is to hate on him. I don't hate on him. I don't do like all like the ATG split squats and all that other, like I don't get on a treadmill and walk backwards or anything like that. I don't do sled drags, though I do think that they're beneficial for sure. I've done them. But kind of like his whole thing is like really like stretching out the knee over the toe under load is good for the legs. And I believe that to be true. And after like the 5 singles I did of the breathing pause squat, like you're going to see I squatted fucking deep, like deep. I basically sat on the floor and I pushed my knees out over my toes as far as they could go. They've felt a lot better since that session. I don't know all the muscles in the quad, but the one that's been beat up is the one like right next to your knee that kind of bulges. It's like the teardrop is what they call it in bodybuilding. That one's been, pretty fucking beat up. From that session because I probably stressed it more than it's used to, but my legs have felt a lot better. My IT band hasn't been bugging me. They haven't been cramping up as much. Haven't had like the knee tendonitis. So that was like a good kind of like restorative session, and that's just like something on like a off day of squats that it's like potentially a PR to hit, and I do think that there's a lot of benefits to doing that variation of pause squats. Deadlift day, I'm trying to rebuild the deadlift. Like I said, I took a lot of time off of the deadlift and just hyper-focused on the squat. And what's good about that is you'll get a bigger squat for sure because it's the only really like lower body thing you're doing. But, obviously the downside, the drawback is my hamstrings have probably shrunk. And they've decreased in size and strength. My deadlift has gotten a bit worse. So what I've kind of been doing with deadlift, or what I made the goal of the last session, the one that you'll see, I just did a 2x2 with 535. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of working on form. I'm trying to, I haven't hit a deadlift PR in a pretty long time. What I mean by that is like a true like 1RM. I obviously hit a 5-rep max a little over a month ago. And since my deadlift's been at its strongest, which was in December 2023, I've gained at least 10 pounds. And my squat has gone up. I mean, back in December 2023, my best was like 500. And I put another fucking plate on. So my legs have gotten bigger and I've gained weight, which means that my leverages have definitely changed. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find, because my deadlift has kind of been like, I pull like kind of like a deadlift specialist and a guy that's built to deadlift. I mean, I'm probably built more to deadlift than any other lift. I just haven't trained as such. So my form has always kind of been with my hips very high. It's almost fucking stiff-legged. And I round my upper back. I didn't used to, I found out that was my strong form in like 2021, 2022, because I would pull deficit deadlifts and I'd be stronger. Like I would pull big deficit deadlifts, not like 1 inch. Like I'm talking like 2.5, 3, 4 inch deficit deadlifts, and they would be stronger than I could manage just like from the floor. So I was like, what the hell is going on? Well, it's because my hips are higher. So I started deadlifting with higher hips, and the deadlift kind of blew up since I put that in. And then when did my deadlift start to go up? Shit, I would probably say in less than a year. My deadlift like blew up just from that little form tweak because I was deadlifting according to my actual leverages. I don't believe that that's the case anymore. So what I was trying to do is sink my hips a little bit lower and spread my legs a little bit wider. Nothing crazy, but like it's not like fucking Brian Shaw deadlift where I'm like rolling the bars, squatting down, because I'm not that big, not even fucking close. But I just think that that's going to be more favorable to my leverages. So I was kind of working on that, but in the second set, I didn't really think I dropped my hips very much. Like the first rep of the first set I did. And I have been pulling with a mixed grip. I wanted to try to break in the mixed grip. And I don't have a grip problem at all. I've never had a grip problem. But one of my grips is stronger. So I think, and this might be the case for most people, but with my right hand like this and my left hand supinated is my stronger grip. And my first set, I did the opposite. And it was like a pretty difficult set of 2. And I haven't really been pulling mixed grip deadlifts for a while, and it's a little bit different. And it was pretty tough. And then I went and I did the other grip, and you'll see it in the footage. The second set looks a lot easier. Like, obviously, my best, I pulled 5 in straps almost 2 months ago now. So, well, it's probably a little bit more than that, but whatever. I probably could have pulled it if I like wanted to like continue and go balls out. I probably could have got it for 4, maybe 5. I wasn't playing. I just wanted to match the 2 and see how it felt. But I was like, that was pretty fucking easy. I YOLO attempt 605. It did not come off the ground. Or I think it budged off the ground and I didn't continue the pull. It didn't get past like the mid shin at all. Yeah, so I think I can definitely pull. I don't know that I probably could pull 600 next week. I don't know if I'll attempt it or not, though, because I'm feeling pretty confident in how the deadlift's going up. But, yeah, 2 days is a little bit difficult to manage. I haven't done this in a while, so what I think I'll do is, like, one day I'll do, like, a little bit of volume work, like something like that, not very much. I don't think that you need very much deadlift volume for it to go up. So, like, 2 sets of 3, 2 sets of 2, 3 sets of 3. I'll do something like that. Then the other day I'll do like a lightened variation, and I'll just work up to a top set. So deficit deadlift, beltless deadlift. That's what I think the plan will be going forward. I was thinking about it during my lift today. I think I want to do like 2 or 3 sets of 3 with 545 bare hand mixed grip next Monday. I think will be the deadlift day. Yeah, Monday will be the deadlift day. So looking forward to that. Bench is what I just did, and that has still been on a fucking roll. I'm really happy with bench. I got 325 for 2 Larson press, and then I dropped down to 305. I did it for 3 paused Larson press, and then I finished up with close grip 280 for 3 sets of 4 paused. Bench has just been going really well. It's the only thing that's going well. So I'd be really pissed off with training right now with a forced deload on my squat because my legs are feeling beat to shit, reloading the deadlift. And if my bench wasn't going anywhere, I would not be happy right now. But the fact that the bench has kept moving is what's kind of kept me sane here. I really do think that 405 is going to happen this year. And maybe even before the end of the year. Bench is really moving right now. I'm really happy with that. If I can, I've been making like noob gains on the Larson press. I think I might attempt and will definitely be successful at a 350 Larson press next week. If I can Larson press 350, I should be benching like 380. So we're really knocking on that door of 4 plates. Very excited about that. Final note before I go. I was considering this while I was training. I was thinking about it. Not a commitment at all. Just a thought. I'm kind of considering maybe toward the end of the year here, once, I kind of balance out the other aspects of my life. Obviously, I do have a stable job again, and I have more stability than some of like the previous episodes when I've talked, but I am kind of considering competing in a powerlifting competition this year. Not a commitment in the slightest, but if I do, it'll be toward the end of the year. Definitely once everything is reloaded and peaked. And if I do that, I want to actually fucking do well. So I would probably drop back down to 220. I'm walking around 230 right now. Very close to it. So that would put me at like the 110 class, which is 242. I'm not filling that out by the end of the year. If I do, it's going to be terrible and fat. I would have to like really, really like eat shit food to climb my way up and lose a lot of like work capacity and other shit that's important, cardio, endurance on the way there. So that's not something that I would do. I would have to cut back to 220, and I'm not just going for fun. Like, I'd want to do well, maybe even win the damn thing. So the caveat to that is it's like almost necessary that if I want to like do well, that I've got to have my pause bench to like a competition standard in the realm of 4 plates. Like, I don't want to, I would obviously just bench like 370, and I would be okay within a competition at 220 doing like 380, 385, but that was a touch and go 370. So I'm going to have to get to like a touch and go 405 to get to like a good legit pause 380, 385, 390. So that's the cap, is I'm going to have to drop weight and get my bench up. So something that I'm definitely considering at some point this year.